Hi everyone, Raani here. You're listening to Clean with Me, the podcast where we talk you through cleaning your house. In today's episode, I am going to talk about cleaning for guests. However, don't tune me out if you're not having company anytime soon, because the whole purpose of the show is to get your house clean so you can just pretend you're cleaning for guests. That having been said, this episode is going to be geared for someone who is expecting guests, perhaps for a holiday. I am recording this episode on the day before Thanksgiving, so we are going to be doing some cleaning at our house. And also, I'm going to be having company for Christmas, and I'm going to talk about how I plan to prepare for that. So, of course, as always, you're going to want to be cleaning while I talk. In case you're new to this show, I'm going to let you know what room or area of your house that I recommend you be working in. And the goal isn't to do exactly what I'm saying. It's just to work in the designated area until we switch to the next area. Of course, there's no right or wrong way to listen to the show. So let's get right into it. If you're lacking motivation right now, you may want to freshen up a little bit, get into something that's comfortable, but you're willing to clean in it if you're going to be using bleach products or something like that. Obviously, be careful what you wear for that. So get into something comfortable, but at the same time, you want to feel presentable, because remember, when you look good, you feel good. That's what my grandmother used to always say. So another thing that kind of helps get me into the cleaning mood is lighting a candle or starting a wax warmer. While we're on that topic, I will just say that when I am having guests over for a holiday where we're going to be serving a meal, I choose some kind of food-scented wax for my wax warmer. For example, pumpkin spice, cinnamon, something appetizing that's not going to conflict with the food. Like not like the clean linen. I do like the smell of clean linen scented wax, but not when I'm serving food. So maybe if you're preparing for guests, like as we speak, you're going to choose a food scented wax or candle if you have it. By the way, I'm going to be even telling you what I'm buying to prepare for upcoming guests. Not so much for Thanksgiving, but for Christmas. Again, you could use this episode to prepare for any time you're having guests, but especially holiday meals and things like that. So let's see. Let's start in the kitchen. By now, you've probably freshened up, lit a candle. Maybe you need to get a machine running. Maybe you need to do a laundry switch. If you have some clothes in the dryer or in the washer that you need to switch into the dryer, do that. But it's always good to start working in the kitchen and build momentum. So if you have dishes to do, now's the time to get started on those. Maybe you need to empty, reload, and run your dishwasher and then wash a few more things by hand. Or maybe you just want to get into the deep cleaning aspect of preparing for guests. I'm not going to talk about every possible thing you could do to deep clean your kitchen, because I don't know what needs to be done. I'm just going to talk about some things that I would recommend based on my own situation. Typically, when you clean your kitchen on a busy day, you're going to do your dishes, clean out your sink, wipe down your surfaces, sweep, mop. But certain things get neglected sometimes, let's face it. So one of the most important things to do when you're having guests over, especially if it's either a potluck situation or a situation where someone's going to help you cook, But even if that's not the case, someone's likely going to open your refrigerator. maybe to get a drink or something. So anyway, you're going to have to clean out your refrigerator. Maybe not in this episode, but maybe this is just something that you want to kind of add to your to-do list. If you're facing a disaster right now and you just need to get your house functioning on a random weekday, just plug away on your dishes and do those daily minimums. Dishes, countertops, okay, and stovetop. But when preparing for guests, you're going to want to clean out your refrigerator. One of my favorite tips for cleaning out the refrigerator is using hot water and white vinegar. That's what I like to use to wipe it down, just because I feel funny using chemicals inside of my refrigerator. So those, that does the trick. When you talk about cleaning out your refrigerator, it can mean two different things. There's the cleaning out where you remove old leftovers, tartar sauce that you don't remember when you've used, things like that. You toss things. Some things you check expiration dates. Some things you just know they've been there a while. And I'm trying to instill this in my husband, that the expiration date has to do with when you buy something. In most cases, if you've opened something, it's not automatically good until that expiration date. Just throwing that out there, but I'm sure a lot of you know that. So anyway, you're going to want to remove clutter in your kitchen, for one thing, before you can deep clean. And I see this a lot in people's kitchens. This is not something I'm guilty of, but I see like one countertop on the end, and I'm not talking about anybody I know, okay? If you're in my family or whatever, this is not directed at you. I'm talking about just in general, people's houses I've been to years ago, TikTok videos I've seen, whatever. But sometimes there's a pile on the end of a countertop with bills, paperwork, and just miscellaneous clutter. I just think it's a common thing that people do. So definitely, let's move that. Maybe there's a desk in a back bedroom. If you don't have time to sort through that stuff now, maybe there's somewhere you can stash that in a room that your guests probably won't see. In a closet, I don't know, somewhere. A drawer, maybe. That's what a junk drawer is for, I guess. But I don't keep my bills in the kitchen. I don't want to put my business out there, okay? So anyway, if you have like a clutter situation, things that just don't belong in the kitchen, or maybe they do, maybe your system is to keep the bills right there on your countertop because in the old days there was a phone on the wall or something. Okay, I get that. But right now I'm talking about getting ready for guests. Another solution is to have a container that conceals things like that. So let's deal with that. Now, I will tell you what we are guilty of at our house that we will need to address before having Thanksgiving and Christmas guests. And there's something in my kitchen. Well, I say kitchen, but it's a kitchen and dining area, so it's a large room. But there's something called the school desk. And basically, the school desk attracts a lot of clutter. People just put things on top of it. So maybe you have a desk nearby that can be seen in your kitchen, but let's remove any of that clutter. The other thing, and obviously this isn't the type of episode where you're going to be exactly in sync with what I'm doing, okay? Hold on one second. Okay, I may have to edit this because I don't remember what I've said and haven't said. I really hate being interrupted when I record. Okay, so anyway, yeah. The other thing you're going to do that maybe doesn't necessarily I know what I was saying. This isn't an episode where you're cleaning in real time along with what I'm saying. Do what needs to be done, but I'm listing off stuff that you would do to prepare for guests. Something that you're going to want to do that you may not do every day is wipe down your cabinets. And I'm talking about cabinets that are high up, cabinets that are low. You might have a tall guest that can see the top of your refrigerator, okay? Depending. what kind of refrigerator you have. But I know with some refrigerators, wait, you're going to have that. You're going to have that. So anyway, you need to do that. So you're going to wipe things down high and low. You're going to wipe down your cabinets and the top of your refrigerator. Obviously, you're going to want to wipe down the whole interior and exterior of your refrigerator. I mentioned cleaning the refrigerator with vinegar. There's also that time-honored tradition of removing the drawers, taking them outside, and power washing them with the hose. So don't forget to do that. Obviously, cleaning inside of your microwave. I would say cleaning the oven, but I'm not super picky about the inside of my oven. And if you're listening to this right before having guests, there's no time for that. It's going to stink up your house if you put it on the self-cleaning cycle. I mean, maybe just if there's some debris in the bottom of your oven, scoop that up, wipe that down. But we're not going to be focusing on that. Obviously, if you start preparing, and this is the ideal, at least a week in advance when you're planning to have guests, you can kind of make a to-do list and chip away at those tasks. But if that's not your situation, you may not have time to clean your oven. But you're going to want to clean your refrigerator and microwave. Another thing you're going to want to do is think about what your guests are actually going to see. They are most likely going to open your silverware drawer. And I know you're planning on setting the table and all that, but I'm talking later in the evening, people that are in your extended family, having dessert or whatever. Somebody's going to be looking for a fork, okay? So the silverware drawer, it's not something we think about that often. I have but it's one of the things on my to-do list, at least before Christmas, to address, because I have a huge silverware drawer and there's the little organizer in there where you put the forks, knives, spoons, but then I have kind of a miscellaneous basket to the left of that. And, especially when you have kids or, even just your significant other might be putting random things in a drawer, but it's become almost a junk drawer of sorts on the other side of my silverware organizer. So what I need to do is take out everything that doesn't belong in that drawer and then vacuum out any dust or debris. Okay, remove. And you may have other drawers that need that same attention. For example, your cooking spoon drawer, that drawer where you have large cooking spoons or spatulas. I know some people keep those in a container on the countertop. Mine are in a drawer. And then I have another drawer for cutlery. Sounds fancier than it is, right? Knives and other random cutting tools like a mango slicer or whatever. So those drawers need to be straightened up a little bit and maybe wiped down or vacuumed out. So I'm just throwing that out there that people might go into those drawers, even if they brought a casserole, they're going to be looking for that cooking spoon or whatever. And even if you're not having anybody over, do this for yourself, definitely. So yeah, the things that we're going to be doing in our kitchen that are out of the ordinary, I guess, stuff you don't do that often, are cleaning out those drawers. But I would say the most important thing is cleaning your refrigerator and microwave before a holiday meal. Again, if you have clutter around, like a desk or a pile, deal with that as well. And then one of my favorite parts of cleaning for company is adding a nice finishing touch. So once you get everything clean, maybe after you've wiped down your dining room table, you could put a nice tablecloth on it, a nice centerpiece. And I know some of you probably already decorated for Christmas, and some of you do the fall decor for Thanksgiving. I like to have fall decor at Thanksgiving personally. No judgment here if that's not what you do, but that's the way I do it. So I do decorate for fall at Thanksgiving. And sometimes you can get some fall decor on sale when it's this close to Thanksgiving because people are getting into Christmas mode already. So just throwing that out there. Don't forget about those finishing touches. Since we're only 15 minutes in or so, I want you to continue working in your kitchen, whether it's on dishes, wiping surfaces, cleaning your refrigerator, cleaning cabinets. And I know you're not going to have time to do all of that in a single episode, but while you're doing whatever needs to be done in the kitchen, hopefully I've given you ideas on what needs to be done. Let's talk about some things to purchase before having guests if you can. Make sure you have plenty of toilet paper, paper towels, and napkins. For some reason, toilet paper disappears fast when you have people over, and I'll talk more about that when we get to the bathroom segment. Toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, candles or wax. And the candles, I already have some wax to put in my wax warmer, but when I talk about getting candles, I'm talking about getting those tall, skinny candles for my silver candlesticks that I like to put on the table for a holiday meal. So super cheap, just something to pick up at the store. I'm not asking you to buy anything expensive here. Not that I'm asking you to buy anything at all. But that's something on my shopping list. Another thing, this is something that I've already purchased in anticipation of December guests, and that is guest towels for the bathrooms. I got 2 hand towels for my bathroom and one for the guest/kids bathroom because people are going to be seeing both of those bathrooms. I'll talk about that more later in the show. And then accent rugs. Sometimes the best way to cover up a stain on your carpet is just with a small accent rug. In our situation, we have an Ethernet cord going across one hallway to speed up my son's internet in his room. And the rug that I have covering that cord, it's obviously to prevent people from tripping over the cord. I realize people can trip over rugs too, but it's better than the cord. The rug that I have isn't working out, but I know that a different rug that I have in a different part of my house is perfect for it, so I want to get that type of rug. I basically need a heavier, more rigid rug that's going to stay in place better so that no one trips. Obviously, you're always going to want to remove any hazards, so that's on my list, an accent rug, and there I have a certain type of rug in mind. And then again, finishing touches. What would you like to reward yourself with after cleaning? Maybe a pretty plant or even some holiday decor, perhaps from Dollar Tree. Sometimes little things can make a big difference and you don't have to spend a lot of money on that. I'm going to be talking about more tips for guests that are relevant to each room, so we'll get into that more later. Make sure you have plenty of bottled water. Nowadays, people like having an individual bottle of water.